Hello, welcome to Tutorial Point, and we're gonna go through a yet another very powerful episode on transformations, rasterization, and smart objects. So let's move forward with what are transformations. Transformation is basically if you have any image or any selection and you want to transform it, that means you want to scale it, rotate that image, skew that image, stretch that image, or wrap. So basically, you're dealing with the transformation of that image. Also, whenever you apply the transformation, you will have a bounding box around your image. You can apply a transformation to a selection, to the entire layer, or even to multiple layers. Transforming can affect your quality in case you have an image and you scale it to a greater height, and once you're going to bring it down, it will affect your image quality because transformation is actually moving your layer pixels. To avoid that, I will introduce to yet another very powerful feature of Photoshop, which is smart objects, but I'll do it in a while. So, how do we apply a transformation? You can select to transform. So, basically, you select an item or a selection and then you choose the transformation command. The transformation command can be introduced by just its shortcut Control or Command T. You can also go to the edit menu and select transform. You can also right click on an image and select transform. So now let's move on to what are the various submenus in a transform. Scale. Scaling means nothing but actually you're enlarging or reducing an item. So whenever you click on scale and transform, you will have a bounding box around your image or selection, and then you can scale the object. You can also turn an object using the rotate submenu. We can also skew. Skew means when you slant an object vertically or horizontally. We also have the option of distort, which is actually you stretch an item in all directions. We have perspective. So basically you apply perspective at any point. You can wrap. Wrap means you're manipulating with the shape of that item. You can also rotate it to 180 degree, 90 degree, or you can actually have a counterclockwise degree and a counterwise degree. And you can also flip the item vertically and horizontally. So I think I have explained enough. Now let's dive in Photoshop and see how does it actually happen in Photoshop. Let's dive in. Transformation is a very powerful tool in Photoshop that lets an image transform, scale, distort, change the perspective, change the shape, rotate it, flip it. It's very powerful. Now, always remember transformation cannot be applied to the background layer. So first of all, I need to create a copy of the background layer by simply dragging it in here. So I'm going to drag my layer here and have another copy in which I'm going to apply. Now I don't want my background layer, so I'm going to delete it. So it's here. Now I have this copy of my background layer and I want to transform it. So before I show you something very powerful, very amazing, let's just see how can I apply transformation. Now transformation can be applied by keyboard shortcut Command T or Control T. So I just press and I have these square dots over here which will let me apply my transformation. Now transformation can be a free transform. You can do whatever you want from any angle, or you can have predefined the proper if you're looking for just scaling. So you're going to click on scaling and you're going to bring it down and up. Bring it down and up. Again, so I can rotate it by, I have this thing and I can rotate my picture wherever I want. So this is how I will rotate my picture. Again, I can skew it. So let's see what skew helps us do. So basically, it's going to skew it in any direction we want. So see, it will let me skew it. You want to skew it this side. You want to skew it towards this side. So it will help me skew my image. So wherever way I want, I can do it. Again, I have this dot. So this one will let me change in particular direction. So I want to make it down from here, or I want to change it here. I want to decrease it from this size. I want to distort it from the upper side. I want to do it. So I want to decrease it from the upper side. So it will help me wherever I want. Again, perspective will change the perspective of the entire image. So like this, it changed the perspective. It will bring the perspective to the other side. So, and again, I can wrap. So the wrap will give me these boxes, and I can change the shape from, so I can completely change the shape from any side. So that's how powerful it is. I'm changing the shapes. So it lets me create any shape. So I have just created a beautiful droplet from this transformations. I can also rotate my image to whatever I want. I can rotate 90-degree clockwise. I can flip my image horizontally or vertically. So I have so many images. Again, now Photoshop will not let me do anything before I either apply or cancel. So you can see if I click anywhere, it's going to ask me, hello, please apply the transformation. So one way is through this, other way is these are two buttons here. So if you're not interested, click here, which I'm not. I've pretty ruined up the image. I can do cancel transform, or I can go ahead and press escape, or I can do click here or press enter. Right now I'm going to cancel my transform. So this is my image. Let me do a control T, and I'm going to reduce the size of this image. I want to create a duplicate on the other side, which is, so this is my image. What I'm going to do is hold Alt plus Control and just flip it over. So let me show you. I'm going to just flip this over. I can do that. So what also controls that. Whatever I want, I also want is to basically do a control J of the same image. I want this image to retain at the background. So I'm going to do this. Enter and apply my transform, do a control J, again control T, and I want to bring it that side. So I'm going to do control Alt and bring an image this side and just place it here. So I have these two image one by, so you can see. So again, I'm going to come back to this image, but I need to apply it. Again, I'm going to come back to this image and I want to bring it up first because to see it, otherwise I cannot see it. So okay, and I'm going to bring this image up so that I can see the transformation bars, and this also needs to be transformed a bit. So, and I can bring it back here, and I can press enter. So these are my two beautiful images, and so we just flip the image. Now let me take the eraser tool and just make these two images look like one. Let me quickly, so you have to be a little more neater to make it look more real. So I'm going to do it quickly, so that's how I have bring these two images together, just using a simple button, Control T transformation. So I hope you've enjoyed and learned transformation. Just one more thing, you can also find this transformation from the edit in case I did not cover it in the tutorial. You do free transform or transform, and again the shortcut is Control T. So use transform to scale any image the way you want.